What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Welcome to Tuesday's episode. I think this is 3:30. Don't quote me on that. So greetings and salutations, all that good stuff. Happy belated St. Patrick's Day. We never hit the holidays. It's also Women's History Month, right?
Yes.
So all the things. Yep. Happy everything that's going on right now. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Monday and Tuesday are topics. So please tune in to Monday's topic where we talk about a possible breach with Ring and their cameras or surveillance systems. And then tune in tomorrow for Wednesday's discussion. It'll be a good one. And then Fridays, talk about everything else, not cyber related. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. This article comes from bleepingcomputer.com, written by Sergey Gatlin, and the title is NBA alerts fans of a data breach exposing personal information. So the NBA, the National Basketball Association, that one, right, is letting fans know that there was a data breach and some of their personal information, which was held by a third-party newsletter service, was stolen. So they're not saying the information for people that are, employees of the NBA. This is a third-party newsletter service. That was hacked, right? So because the NBA itself, right, like they're global, right? They have 5 professional sports leagues. They have the NBA, WNBA, Basketball Africa League, NBA G League, and NBA 2K League, which when I saw that, I was like, is that the video game? Like,
yeah, I was confused too.
Yeah, I was like, I know of NBA 2K. I was like, I didn't know they had like a league that the NBA manages, but good for them, right? But again, it was their newsletter service, right? So the NBA, as far-reaching as it is, right? They talk about what they broadcast, right? They're broadcasting over 215 countries, territories, spanning over 50 languages. And they put a notice out. They sent an email to a bunch of fans saying that the systems were not breached. They're trying to reassure everyone their systems were not breached. It only affects fans' credentials were not impacted in the incident, but some personal information was stolen. For this whatever this newsletter is. So I guess they have a third-party vendor that puts a newsletter out there for people that are fans of the NBA. And they're just letting you know, hey, not us, it's them. There's no indication that their systems, the username, password, any information was shared that they shared with them has been impacted, right? But this is one of those things where you just got to wait it out, right? This is the initial investigation or look at. They're saying, okay, none of this stuff happened, but we've seen it before where you can have it where as time goes on, the investigation goes a little bit further, that you see, oh, well, maybe it's a little bit more far reaching than what we thought, right? But they are assuring everybody, nope, your information is safe. But they tell them, hey, because of this, now, mind you, even though your personal information is safe, be on the lookout for different attacks to come from this, right? So if you were getting a digital newsletter, right, then they have your email, they have your name, right? So you're going to start getting phishing emails and things of that nature. And they're just telling them to watch out for the stuff that you're supposed to watch out for, right? So the normal stuff. If you get something, make sure it's coming from a domain that's nba.com, right? Which that could be faked as well, but if it's got links in there, right, go ahead and scroll over it and make sure it's not something that's taking you to somewhere different, right? They may say, NBA fraud department or something like that. And if you go over it, it's somebody's Google address, some type of Google address, is probably a good sign that it's not what it says it is, right? You know what I mean? So there's different things in there they tell people to look out for, right? And they also add the NBA will never request the fans' account information, including usernames or passwords, via email. And that's pretty standard, right? If you ever get an email, doesn't necessarily have to be in this case. If you ever get an email that says, give us your username and your password, so we can verify who you are, delete it immediately. You know what I mean? Like that is not legit. Any legit company out there, no legit company out there is going to ask you for that. You know what I mean? Like we're way past those times. There may have been a time, 15, 20 years ago, maybe, right? And I'm even doubting that. I don't know, but where they would have asked for that information to verify who you are. But if you get that in an email, that is not legit. So they're just telling people, hey, be on the lookout for these things, right? So again, make sure it comes from an NBA.com domain. Make sure you're hovering over the links if there's anything in any type of emails that come from that you may be a little suspicious of, and watch out for the timing of it too, right? So because it's just happened, like if you get something from them in like a week, other than this email that they sent out saying that they were hacked, like be suspicious of that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the normal security practices that we try to tell you guys on this show as well, right? Like just do those things. Don't fall prey. You know what I mean? But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this one, like, so it's the reason I chose this because it's pretty big. Like I didn't even know the far-reaching impact that the NBA has. Like I know everyone in the world loves basketball, right? But not to this extent. I know it was 215 countries, 50 different languages. I mean, if you think about it, like even Kim, was it Kim Jong? Even he loves his basketball. Okay, in
It might have been
North
his dad.
Korea.
Was it? No, because Rodman. You're right. Because of
Yeah,
Rodman.
Rodman is an,
Yep,
an
yep,
American ambassador because of it,
yep,
right?
you're
Like,
right.
so the world loves basketball, which blows my mind because so I'm a Knicks fan. I don't watch most of the season. Like, we are not making it, so I tune out pretty early in the basketball season. But the reason I say that though is so now if they do have in this case email addresses and names of how many people, like how many millions of people could be potentially on this roster of names, and you can't even get a room full of people to agree to do their cybersecurity training, right? Like, let alone the globe to know about these bad links and the implications of clicking a bad link in an email or receiving an SMS, because that's going to be the claim to fame, right? Like especially in other areas of the world, like cell phones are more prevalent than computers. So like they might not get an email, but they'll get a text, and then they won't think about it, right? Because you can't hover over links and text, and now it's blown up to be something bigger potentially. So I think this one is potentially going to be a story that traverses the entire year. Like we're going to be coming back to this in some shape, form, or other, just because of how many people can potentially be impacted by the NBA losing this information. So I think it's pretty significant, even though you don't think about it. Like, oh, it's just basketball. But like, no, it's the world. The world loves their basketball like they love their soccer and their baseball, which is crazy. Even though when you win the Super Bowl, you're world champion only in the States. Like,
It's technically still true, right? You don't have any leagues that are outside of the NFL control, so it's technically true, right?
right. But I mean, you have so many different leagues when it comes to basketball, and it's so many different countries. So I think this one could be pretty big. And it's unfortunate, right? There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be susceptible to this in the future. And they won't even know. They're like, oh, the NBA sent me something in my text. I'm going to click it. And then boom, they got you in some shape, form, or other. So we'll see what the future holds of it. But I just wanted to bring this to the podcast attention because of how big the NBA is, even though you don't think about it in that regard. So it's pretty crazy. So it's unfortunate that this happened. Again, check all of your emails, hover over those links. Just don't click them. Like I don't even click links to things I know to be legitimate anymore. I just go to the website. I'll just log in. But I just don't trust.
That's still a good practice, though, right? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're not really missing anything at that point, right?
No,
Like,
it's saving you maybe 20 seconds.
yeah.
Just go to the page, just log in, and then see what they have for you. Anecdotally, I had one recently. I was getting one from Spectrum saying that I owed a bill, but my internet is tied to my HOA. Right, it's one of those package deals, so I never have a bill. So it was like, yeah, you owe us $14. I was like, I don't owe you $14. And there was a link right there. And I was like, nope, see, this is how you try to get you, because it's dear customer. You don't even know my name? You that impractical? Then I hovered over it, and that was not the link to Spectrum. I was like, come on, man.
I get them from Amazon, and our Amazon account isn't even under my email. So I'm like, you're not.
That's me and Apple. That's me and
Yeah.
Apple. I don't have an Apple account. I'm like, it'll always tell me that something's wrong with my account. Click this link.
So
Like,
so wait a minute. You got all that Apple stuff. You were deeply embedded.
Yeah, the whole family, but it's all tied to the missus. She has
Okay,
the Apple
okay,
account.
okay. All right. Yeah.
So I get the dear customers. Every now and then I will get one that says Ryan in all caps though. Like, why are you shouting my name? Just weird. You just gotta be careful. Just don't click on links. But yeah, I think this is an interesting topic, and we'll see how this one, because this one I think is going to be similar to the whatever the student loans breach that happened, right? It's going to be a slow burn. Like, okay, they lost this information. How long will it take to come to blow up to the surface where people start getting these phishing emails and SMS attacks, right? Like, it's a very slow burn. Like, we want you to forget about this, and then in 6 months to a year to a year and a half, then that's when we're going to get you. Very patient, right? Because they're in the business of making money off of you in this case. They will get enough people to click these links to install malware, to steal money, to do whatever, where it'll be worth their time waiting. So that's very unfortunate. So, but with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Again, Monday, Tuesday are our topics, so definitely tune in tomorrow's episode. It will be our discussion, and then Friday we talk about everything else: movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Hit us up at all of the websites. Social media presence, I guess to say. I don't know. I was trying to say something fancy. I messed it all up. But it's up all the websites that have our name. And then you can hit me up personally. I am at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. Stay safe, stay secure.